What do you think of activewear? You know, that stretchy, striped up gear that people often wear. To my mind, it can work quite well on certain people in certain places, you know, like on an athlete at an athletics track. But in other environments and on the wrong person, it can look a little bit out of place. To a certain extent, the Civic Type R is a lot like activewear. Visually, this car is always in your face. It's always in activewear mode, whether that be at the racetrack or when you're just down at the supermarket. You can't escape the visual styling that this car has and the message it puts out. And the message is, I'm all swoopy and scoopy and frankly, a little bit loopy. So if you're a shrinking violet, you might find the outsides of the Type R a little bit challenging, but you're prepared to take it on because you've heard about the great performance the car offers and the price is very attractive. So, under cover of darkness, you check carefully around, put your sunglasses on, and then dash towards the car, jump in it, hoping to find a nice, calm sanctuary inside. Well, forget it, because inside is just as bonkers as the outside. I mean, look at these red seats. Look at the red seat belts. The red around the steering wheel. The beautifully milled gear knob. It's all shouting, spank me, spank me. $59,990 this car is in New Zealand, and they can't get enough of them, frankly. The Type R puts out 228 kilowatts of peak power and 400 newton meters of peak torque. Now that peak torque is all yours to play with, anywhere from 2,500 to 4,500 RPM. And that 2,000 RPM spread of torque is really good because it means you're not likely to be embarrassed in traffic if you're trying to accelerate away in fourth gear, where really you want to be in third or maybe even screaming off in second. Now, a trick part of the Type R specification is the fact that it's only two-wheel drive. And when you've got Focus RS and Golf R putting out similar amounts of power of this car using four-wheel drives, you think, two-wheel drive, is that really going to be able to play with those guys? Well, the short answer is yes, absolutely. They've done a lot of work on the geometry of this car to completely eliminate torque steer. What about traction, you say? Well, it's raining and I'm on a favoured piece of twisty blacktop. Roads, of course, are wet. I've turned traction control off. Let's see how we go for traction. Whoa, bit of axle tramp there. I'm in R plus mode as well, so we've got as much Type R as we can have. There's so much power that, yeah, you can break traction in these conditions, basically in third gear, at accelerating from 70 or 80 kilometers an hour, so it is fighting for grip. So we're in a tight corner here. Yeah, usual understeer, hard acceleration gives you front wheels lighting up, understeer out towards the outside of the corner, but I'm really being savage with the throttle, and as I say, I've got traction control switched off. If I switch the traction control back on, do the same thing again on a similar corner, and yeah, it can break traction easily, of course. I'm just driving it to the point of being a dick, really, but it's never feeling marginal in terms of control. It's not fighting, you know, it's not like that. I can hold that steering angle with one finger, even under hard acceleration and wheel spin. So yeah, you can't say much better than that. Apart from the carbon fibre splitters and the winglets and the spoilers and the big 20-inch wheels showing the Brembo brakes and their cross-drill rotors through them, the other big part of the outside of the car's visual statement is the three exhaust pipes. They look pretty odd. How do they sound? fair to say, nothing special actually. There's no raspy, there's no crackly, there's no poppy. It's a little bit bland. So maybe the 3 pipes is a little bit of an overstatement, because I'm not finding they deliver the oral excitement, and certainly within the cabin, the feedback that I'd expect from a performance car such as this. It is quite noisy in here at 100 kilometers an hour. The seats have got a lovely firm presence to them. You know, they don't yield much when you're sitting in them, so you really are held firmly in position with the car and sort of strapped in to be a part of the whole experience. But fortunately, they're very well designed, so I'm finding it quite comfortable to ride around in this car. There's not a lot to love about the interior materials. It's all pretty much hard plastics, except for a little bit of suede down here. Things like the faux carbon fibre on the doors and on the dash, it's all really kind of thin and lightweight feeling. But that's not the point about this car. It's not a car that you expect to find tactile delight in, really, except on the contact points that you have with it. The steering wheel, the pedals, and your hands around the gear lever maybe, and your bum. There's 3 drive modes: Comfort, Sport, and R+, and they all change the colour of the instrument panel. They also change the damper settings and the throttle responsiveness and the weight of the steering. Now, a lot of cars that have adjustable driver modes like this, you tend to find that when you jump into them, no matter where you left the car, which mode you left it in, it's gone back to the comfort mode or the eco programmed mode. Not so in the Type R. If you leave it in comfort mode, when you jump back into the car afterwards, it'll be in sport mode. So it's setting itself up as a sports car, and you have to deliberately make it go to comfort mode. That's not to say that sport mode is a terribly bad place to be. I tend to just leave it in sport mode largely. Even around town, it's fine. The ride is a little bit harder than in comfort mode that I've experimented with, but comfort mode definitely does dull the throttle response, and it doesn't make it feel like you're actually in a Type R. You're kind of in a Civic hatch with a few extra bolt-on bits, and I want a more special feeling than that. So Sport is a great default position. It's only belted for 4, not 5 like a regular Civic hatch, but it's got a useful boot out the back as well. But who cares? I mean, who buys a Civic Type R to take around other people in a bunch of luggage? It has got some downsides. The graphics on the dashboard are overly kooky, I think. The central display and air conditioning controls, yeah, they're hard to access and find your way around them, but those things aren't really going to get in the way of you enjoying the car. Once you've got it set up the way you want, you're just going to want to drive this thing. If you're the self-assured type, you know, really confident, and you could see yourself wearing activewear at, I don't know, a funeral, then the Type R could be your performance car, because it's like activewear. You put it on, you lace it up, and everybody sees you in it. So if you could live with that, then you should check out the Type R, because once you're inside, the driving of it makes it all worthwhile.